we are starting out on this journey of doing Dear Edwina online. We felt that it's really important to stay safe, and um, it's really important to stay safe. And so we felt that this was the best way to do it. And Music Theater International put this out. They had adapted it from the regular Dear Edwina and Dear Edwina Jr. I don't know, have any of you ever done Dear Edwina before? Oh, good. It's a really cute show. We've talked about doing it for a long time, but we've never actually done it. So it seemed like a perfect time for us to jump in and do some of this. I was going to be really organized and be playing music when you came on, but I didn't do that. But we will play some in a little bit. So I'm hoping that some of you have listened to it a little bit. And the music's great. It's by Heisler and those two women. They've written great stuff. They wrote Taylor the Latte Boy and some really great stuff. They're very clever writers. So they have very clever lyrics and really good music. So it's not a slouchy show. I mean, they have some good stuff. So is everybody, if I let everyone in? Okay. So one of the things, the directors of your show are going to be Darren Peters. And he is
Hi.
There's Darren. And Suzette is over here. Suzette. Yeah. And Suzette is your music director. And Claudia, that is me. I am your producer and general, take care of details kind of person. And if we need more help than that, we'll see. But I think we're going to be able to do this all together. So what we talked about doing first was maybe telling you a little bit. Does anyone know, do you guys know the story of Dear Edwina? Any of you? Would you like to hear a little bit about that? Okay. I will tell you it in my most entertaining way. So this is what's happening. Kids are getting ready to put on a show as Edwina Spoonapple issues instructions. And this is taking place in the town of Paw Paw, Michigan. Scott, Annie, Kelly, Becky, Lars, Cordell, and Billy enter, each trying to help Edwina sell the show. Now you have to understand, Edwina is an advice giver. This is what she does. And she has the Dear Edwina show where people write in letters and she responds to them and gives them great advice. Tensions are high since the talent scout from the Kalamazoo Advice-a-Palooza Festival will be in the audience, and Edwina wants everything to be perfect. There's been a cancellation in the festival lineup, and the rumor is that the spot will be filled by local talent. Edwina tells everyone to break a leg, and unfortunately, Lars takes that seriously. He's one of the triplets in the show, these triplet brothers, and he twists his ankle and is unable to perform. Oh no, what's going to happen? Okay. So, isn't it amazing that just this moment, Bobby has heard of all Edwina's, Bobby is Edwina's new next door neighbor, and he comes bearing brownies for Edwina's mom. And he's heard about Edwina's siblings, but not Edwina. So she introduces herself as the advice giver extraordinaire, and immediately she says, "Hey, Bobby, you want to be in a show? Okay, you're cast." And he's like, "What?" So he is now in the show. She makes him, he steps into the role of MC. So this is a nice part for a young man. And the kids introduce Edwina and they sing a song, Dear Edwina, which is adorable. Edwina chooses a letter to kick off her advice giving, and the letter is from Aphrodite. And so Aphrodite sings a whole song about her younger brother who is a picky eater. And then they respond to that, and then blah, blah, blah. Then Edwina brings in this group called Susie and the Napkins. And they sing this real cute little song. And Susie sings it, and the Napkins dance to it. And then they also have these other people in the song named Johnny and the Queen of Bula Bula. And they teach people how to say politely, how to say no, thank you. As Becky performs a cheer at the end of the number, because Becky is the big cheerleader in town, the other kids try to spot the talent scout in the audience. So they're all looking for the talent scout. They discover that she's sleeping. So Kelly and Scott are the next kids to bring Edwina a letter. But Scott, who is Scott? Who could Scott be? Scott tries to switch his red envelope for Kelly's blue one. And Edwina says, no, 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 I must have the one that we rehearsed. So now we get another person coming up, Periwinkle. Periwinkle is very shy and worried about making friends when her family moves to Sweden, which makes me laugh because I think then she'll be Periwinkle. Okay, so Periwinkle, Edwina and the kids sing about Harry in Honolulu who wants his cousin Lola from Lima to come to his birthday party. This is a big production number with all of you. And Lola and Harry do not speak the same language, so they sing, they break the ice going, hola, hola. And then they sing a whole song about hola Lola. And that's a very fun song. Edwina tries to wrap up the show, but Scott says, no, 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 I still have, what does he have? Are you paying attention to my dramatic reading? He has a letter. And guess what? In his letter, he sings of his true feelings for Edwina. Thump, 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 love, love, love. So he sings a song, and he's a wonderful singer. And at the end, everyone's excited because the talent scout calls and they think, oh, they're going to have Edwina go on the Advice-a-Palooza. But guess what? They want Scott to sing the national anthem at the Advice-a-Palooza. They don't want Edwina at all. Wah, wah, wah. So Edwina's frustrated and feeling like she doesn't measure up to her other siblings when Katie Spoonapple, her sister, who is incredible math whiz, she enters crying. She's all upset because she was competing in the Summer Math Olympics and turned her answers in first. But one of the other girls whispered about how she doesn't like Katie, and everyone heard. And Edwina says, wait, listen, you've got to sing your own song. Be yourself, which is one of the big themes of the show, which I like. There are a lot of great themes in the show about diversity and like hola lola, and now we're getting into the being yourself. Be true to yourself. And by the end of the song, Katie is ready to go back to the competition. And Edwina and the other kids sing about them being themselves, which is a big group number, sing your own song. And that is how our show ends with everyone. And Scott, we'll see what happens to Scott. I'm not even going to tell you what happens to Scott, but he has some decisions to make. Ta-da! Thank you very much.
Those kids that try to knock you down, they're not what life's about. Just to learn to sing your special song and drown them out. I won't pretend it doesn't hurt. Some things kids say can hurt a lot. But what hurts more is when they make you want to be something you're not. You've got to sing your own song. Use your own voice. Your voice is not a thing to be afraid of.
Oh, sorry, I got excited. So it's a great song, and everybody sings that, right? So there's some songs that everybody sings, and there are other ones that are solos, a lot of solos. So, would you, Darren, is this at the point where we were going to play some of those audition cuts? Has anyone listened to the audition stuff? And maybe I should say right here, you don't have to audition. You can still be in the show. Is that right, Uncle Darren?
Yes, just like always. So, again, we're trying very hard to keep this as similar to the winter workshop as we've done in the past. And as many of you, especially our older students, 7th and 8th graders, you've seen kind of a transition in our shows over the years. And they've gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And Lion King was huge, right? With lots of costumes, and Schoolhouse Rock Life had lots of props and everything. So this year, it just works out. This is a year to scale back a little bit. And we're going to scale back on some time. So those of you who have done the winter workshop in the past, the rehearsals are not going to be anywhere near as time consuming because it's a much shorter show. Our shows have been 45 minutes to 55 minutes in the past, and this one is really like a 20-minute online version. So if you want to be a part of the show and you don't necessarily want to have a leading role or a featured part, you certainly do not have to audition. You can just sign up, register, and you are part of the cast. Congratulations! If you would like to audition, for the experience and you just want to try singing a solo by yourself, but you're not interested in a part, you can let us know that as well. All right. And then if you are interested in having a speaking role or singing a solo in the show, we would encourage you to audition on November 1st, on next Sunday. Okay. But you do not have to. This year, we're also not doing any kind of dance audition, just because the dancing will be very different on Zoom than it will be live in person. So those of you who were fortunate enough to do the Music Man, which was our first YPTW Zoom production, dancing does work in Zoom, but it needs to be a little bit different. So we're not asking anyone to learn a dance audition. It's just to sing a song and to do one of the scenes. All right. Is that what you needed me to convey at this point, Claude?
That was absolutely what I needed you to convey. And
perfect.
One of the things we want you guys to understand when you do audition, and this is some of the things we've been teaching in class, but it's the hardest thing I think about you auditioning this year, is that you have to be able to, if you're going to sing, you need to have two devices at home. You have to have something that's going to play the karaoke that's on the web, it's on Google Docs, and be able to sing to us through your computer. So that's the hardest thing. And you can also sing a cappella if you'd like, but it'd be great if you had something that was playing your track that we have on Google Docs, which I'll show you in a minute. And then, because what we've learned is that it doesn't sync up. If we played it from like Darren's computer and you sang with it, you wouldn't be synced up. You wouldn't be singing quite at the same time. And it's kind of a mess. So,
and
go ahead.
Claudia, if I could just interrupt for a second. So Jenna Pastuzik, who is one of our alumni, who did many of our YPW shows, I know at least from 5th grade on, she actually is a voice teacher and right now is doing all of her voice lessons and master classes through Zoom. And I just found this out. She has an actual way that you can use your same device for your accompaniment as well as your singing. There are just some specific settings that you have to set up. So Claudia and I will research that with Jenna and we'll also post that. So if you don't have two devices, you could still run the music from your own computer. But what she's saying is you do have to have the technical wherewithal to push play on your own so that you can sing with the music that you're hearing live. But other students, like Claudia has said, you can play it from your phone and sing along with it as well. That's what we did for Music Man. People use their phone or an iPad or another computer.
Yeah, we got really amazing at doing that. So, but it takes a little practice. So you might need mom or dad's help with that. Is what I'm warning you ahead of time. Okay?
Yes.
That makes sense. Yeah. A lot of you I've seen already have done that, but it's a little tricky. So if you go to Google Docs, you guys know how to go to Google Docs? Parents know how to go with Google Docs? That's that link that I gave you. I'm going to.
Do you want to do a quick demonstration just so we're sure and you can show us where each of the things are?
I'm going to try to do that, Darren. Yes, I'm going to do that. I, luckily for my own mental state, am not teaching online. So I do not have to do this for a living right at the moment, which is a beautiful thing. Now, where is my, here we go. I'm trying to get back to my regular screen, Dan. No, that's not what Claudia, I want to exit full screen. There we go, baby. All right, so I'm going to open up something first. Oh, where it is. There's my drive. Okay. So I'm going to now, oh, gee, willikers. Now I have to go back to this. I'm sorry, I apologize. And I'm going to share my screen. Am I sharing my screen, Darren?
No, but what I was going to say is...
There we go. Now
there it is now. Yes.
Okay, when you go to Google Docs, or the Google
So how did they get to Google Docs, Claude?
They're going to go, Darren, to, well, I'm going to send them. I mean, it's already on in every email I've sent you guys and your parents. And it's on the website on ypdw.org. And
do you want to go to the website and show them how they could go to the website and get it?
I'm going to try to do that for you, Darren. Okay,
Yeah,
so
just open a browser, type in yptw.org, and Claudia's going to do it.
okay, I'm going to do that, Darren. w.org. Okay.
And then watch, there's our website. It pops up, and right there on the front page, it says click for more information.
More about Dear Edwina. And then we can go down and you can see at the interest meeting, this is the there it is. There's the Google Doc link right there. And then you come here and it says audition scenes, audition sheet music, audition vocals and accompaniment. So if you were going to sing, let's say if you go to these four numbers, well, actually you kind of have to go to this other sheet first, don't you? Here is, it says audition information. So let's say that you want to audition for Scott. It tells you a little bit about Scott, a neighbor boy who is helplessly in love with Edwina. Scott has a big song. Of the audition songs, you should probably, you don't have to, but you should probably sing Edwina. And of the audition scenes, you should do scene 2. Where's Edwina, Claudia? And what are you talking about? Okay, well, let's go back here and you can look at audition sheet music. Let's say I'm Scott. I'm going to open up Edwina. Here it is. You start singing where it says start singing and stop singing where it says stop here. But Claudia, I don't know how that goes. How can you help me with that? Well, yes, I can. We're going to go back and we're going to go back again. And you're going to hear Darren singing Edwina.
So it would probably be smart to go to the PDF sheet music, print that first,
Right.
so that you can be looking at that and then play the version where I'm singing and the accompaniment is there. So what's odd is since this is brand new from MTI, we'll be one of the first groups doing this online version. It doesn't have the demos like they normally have when we would send it to you. A long time ago, we used to burn CDs for every student, and now we don't use CDs. We go and use Google Docs and Dropbox. Now there's no student already singing the songs. It just has the orchestra accompaniment. So Suzette and I are going to have to sing all the different parts for you. So you're going to be listening to us as your practice tracks instead of those voices that they've used before. So this is me singing the big number Scott sings called Edwina.
I know you think it's stupid, but I'm writing just the same. To ask you what a boy should do when the whole world is shouting her name. Edwina, Edwina. As chairman of the chess club, I ask, won't you be my queen, dear Edwina, my dear Edwina, the most beautiful, marvelous, wonderful girl I've seen. Oh, Edwina, you, me, Dairy Queen.
Cha-cha-cha.
You boys might notice there is an alternate line there you can take that's not as high as Darren was singing it. Okay. Now, and you'll also see, where's my, well, I don't know. Sorry, you guys. Where it said, where I had the big long list of what you have to do, which I will get back to. And I hope I'm not confusing you, not helping you. Oh dear. where it listed what you had to do for the audition that I showed you.
Yep. Go back one more.
Go back one more. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, dear.
It's right there.
Where is it? Right here.
Audition materials and info.
Thank you, D-Man. There it is. So these are suggestions, but it will, it tells you which thing to sing. Many of you, if you're not sure what to sing either Sing Your Own Song or Edwina. There are only 4 songs that we put up there, so we were hoping not to confuse you too much. Okay, there are 4 different songs you could choose from. Okay. You want me to?
So that's a really important paper that Claudia just showed you, right?
Mm-hmm.
The audition information sheet, the one that looks like with the pink icon there. That's the important one. Print that page first, or at least look at that page and decide what part you think you should audition for. And again, that doesn't mean that that's the only part you're being considered for.
Oh, gosh,
so if you sing for Scott, we might say, oh, you're going to be a great Bobby, or a Becky. And that's interesting. So most of these parts are not gender specific. So even though, say, Bobby, you think of that as a boy, well, maybe Bobby is a girl's name.
Yeah.
So we could, cast being kind of either gender non-specific, if that makes sense. So it could be a boy or a girl in most of these parts. So find what you want. The 4 songs are there. Find the one you like the best, you feel the most comfortable with, and then follow Claudia's guide of what scene should go with that same character.
Okay. And then there's also your vocal accompaniment here. So I showed you the demo for Edwina, but let's say you're auditioning for Scott and you just wanted the accompaniment, you do it right here. And it's just what Darren sang with, but no singing. So you sing with that. And if you're
But I'm writing just the same to ask you what a boy should do when the whole world is shouting her name.
Good.
But notice it doesn't link up. So that's an example where Claudia's playing the music. I'm trying to sing with it. So I can't be with the music. I would have to play my music from my computer.
Right. Now, let me just show you the general one, the audition that everyone could do. Thank you for audition vocals. Let's hear Sing Your Own Song. That one is a really good one, and Say No Thank You you could also do, but this is a really good one for all of you to look at.
Because this is a full cast song in the show, so everyone has to learn it eventually anyway.
Sing your own song, use your own voice. Your voice is not a thing to be afraid of. And when they hear it ring true, there's not a thing they can do to take away the music that you're made of.
That's it. So it's not very long. We're not asking you to sing a whole lot, just to give us a little bit of an idea so that we can put you in the right spot in the cast. We don't want to put you somewhere where you're uncomfortable or, the notes aren't right for you, that kind of thing. Does that make sense? Yeah.
And again, on all of those sheet musics, it says intro. That's where the music starts. And then it says where you start to sing. Because we always gave you at least 1 measure, maybe 2, sometimes 3. But it's right there. So you could watch the music notes go by as the accompaniment happens. And then you'll hear either Suzette sing the female songs or me sing the male song. And then we both sing that group song. So Claudia, did you want to also play those other 2 audition songs, the female leads?
I could do that. I just wanted to make sure everybody's still with me. Are you guys still with me? Am I making you zone out here? Are you with me, Emily Pay? Okay. I also just wanted to say that we make this as non-threatening as possible. I think, we just want you to feel as comfortable as possible when you do this, because this is a workshop. We always talk about how we're a workshop. And so if you feel like auditioning, which we hope you do, we will make you feel as comfortable as possible. So don't let this be too daunting that you have this electronic stuff. We'll help you as much as possible that we can from our end, and then you get your parents to help you from your end. I know that's a little bit tough, but the more you audition, the easier it gets. So we're like the easiest place in the world to audition. I hope the kids here that are here that have done it before would agree with that we give you a lot of smiles and encouragement. How are you, Luke, by the way? It's good to see you here. Okay. Yes, I can play those other ones. I'm going to do it. Yes, Mac, do you have a question? Oh, I thought Mac had his hand up. All right. Now I'm going to share the screen yet again. All right, share. Yay.
So again, as she's sharing the screen, there are only 4 songs, right? There's a group song, sing your own song. There's the boys song, which is Edwina. And then we have 2 listed as female leads. That doesn't mean they have to be females in our cast, but in their original cast, they were female songs. All right, so she's going to play for you now, Say No Thank You. So this is Suzette singing Say No Thank You. It's a very peppy song.
This is really fun. Oh, please. Oh, please. Download people.
Say no thank you, say no thank you. Take a teeny little bite, they actually taste alright. Say no thank you, say no thank you. Put a smidge upon your plate, everybody can relate. For in many cases you'll find it's right. Even if you don't like something, you can be polite. So when that happens, if that happens, say no thank you. When that happens, if that happens, say no thank you.
Sha-la-la. I like that one. I like all of them, actually. They're pretty good songs. So there's that one. Now there's one more. This is an Edwina song called Up on the Fridge.
So again, this is the one, if you are interested in the role of Edwina, you should most likely sing this song if you feel comfortable with it, because it's one of her songs.
Oh, Claudia Carlson. All right, here we go. We're going to sing up demo.
Up on the fridge is where I want to be, just like Katie and Myra and Joe. There's a white plastic magnet that's just the right size, where my new invitation can go. And then every morning I'll open the door, get some OJ or milk, and I'll see what I dreamed of, wished for, and hoped for, and prayed for, a place that belongs to me.
Yay! So that's a really cool song. And you guys can go, like if you go to YouTube and put in Dear Edwina, these are the longer versions of the song. But if you want to get a little flavor of the show, you can, here's ha la 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 la.
Lopez lived in
you can get a little played around the house, or hear sing your own song. Like at the end of that, that's really great. Let's hear it. Come on, baby.
Those who work so very hard to make their talents fly. It's hard when lovely and so much joy can make you cry. But hold
So once you're in the show, we'll give you all the background tracks so you can sing all the stuff at home and drive your family completely insane. It'll be just so great. Right, you guys? Okay.
And what we will also do, so like Claudia said, if you just put in YouTube and put in Dear Edwina recording or Dear Edwina music, that will show up so that you can hear all of the songs in the show, but they'll be longer because this is shortened, or they might be in a different key, higher or lower. So what we'll probably do in rehearsals is take some of those same recordings, cut them and put them in the right key and make them as close to our show as possible so that you can also rehearse with those, as well as Suzette and I singing some of the music. Right, Suzette? Did you want to talk about that at all?
No, I just hope that everybody just warms up before they get to sing their solo. That's all. Like,
yeah, that's a little
hour that
now. There are about 22 parts, the show's written for about 22. We can do it with more, we can do it with less, we can double parts. But we're really hoping to have around, that's sort of our goal, is to have around 22 kids in the show. So we're hoping that all of you are interested in being part of it. It would be just awesome. We have some ideas because we wanted to make it more than just doing the show, because I know that just working on a show sometimes, and especially doing it online, could get a little bit bleh. So we've been talking about some other activities we can do as part of Dear Edwina. Darren came up with one idea about having like on every Sunday, you could sign up for the last 15 minutes and bring your own karaoke and sing something that you want to sing, or play an instrument or something, like play and tell or sing and tell or whatever, something to share. Because right now it's about making connections in community and stuff like that. And some of us feel a little isolated, or and you just don't, things that you love to do, or even just tell us about something that you love to do. We can have a time where you sign up, and every week we have different kids doing different things on that Sunday. Is that sort of sum that up? I think I summed that up, Darren, right? I thought that was
yes. It's a share Sunday session. And so, if you have a poem that you want to read and connect with us, if you, like to juggle and want to just show off some juggling techniques, anything that you want to do that's performance sort of thing, that will give you the opportunity to spotlight you. So you can be the star of that Sunday. And we'll do that at the end of the Sunday rehearsals for, like I said, the last 15 minutes or so. We'll play it by ear depending on the size of the cast, how many people are interested in sharing something, because, that's what performing and theater is all about, is communication. So we want you to be able to express yourself during this time that we haven't been able to express ourselves theatrically as much as we would like. So I know it's almost like a therapy session to get to sing and dance and perform. So we want to make this, as fun as an experience as possible.
And then I've had this whole journey with pawpaw fruit lately. I don't understand this. Pawpaw is where they live, right? In Pawpaw, Michigan is where Edwina lives. Now, you guys, how many of you know that pawpaw is a fruit? Holy cow, nobody knows pawpaw is a fruit? I put it on the web. Okay, so that's one of your jobs, is to look up pawpaws this week. Joe said that pawpaws, if they are as they are purported to taste, could possibly be his favorite fruit, because they taste like a combination of 3 or 4 fruits.
And it's mentioned in the Jungle Book, in the Bare Necessities. They talk about the pawpaw.
And this week in the New York Times, they've had 2 separate articles on pawpaws. Who knew we were so cutting edge here at the Young People's Theater? So look up pawpaws. But I was thinking it would be fun during the course of this to look up other incredibly weird fruits. Who knew? There are many weird fruits. I'm telling you, there's one that we looked up last year. I forget the name of it, but it was one of the strangest fruits I'd ever seen in my life. So, it's not just pawpaws, people. There are some weird fruits out there. And we could celebrate a weird fruit and learn about it. So we could have something silly like that. We also talked about having, every week we will not just Hola Lola, saying hello in Spanish, will say hello in a different language because we're going to be very, very global. So I bet some of you already know how to do that. Say hello in different languages, right? Yeah, yeah. Okay. So we're going to do other things. I did not show you the scenes, which I think I better do really quickly because I know you guys have exciting things to do today. It's going to rain like crazy. You can practice all of this tomorrow. I do.
And while she's getting those ready, one of the reasons you might be thinking, why is the interest meeting today? Because normally we do our interest meeting on the final class of our fall classes,
Yeah.
but because it is falling on October 31st, and we didn't know what's going on necessarily with how things are, but I know some places like the Lowe's near me is doing a trunk or treat activity. And so we wanted to do it this week a little earlier, and also just to give you a little more time, like we do for our spring production. We do the interest meeting a whole week in advance, and we know that would give you a little more time to prepare and feel like you're really confident on November 1st for your audition. So these are the three scenes. Is that right, Claudia? There are three?
Well, there's three. There's really four because one page is cut into two. But this is scene one, and it has four actors: Edwina, Kelly, Becky, and Annie. And this could be, Edwina probably is a girl. Oh, yeah, probably is a girl. But other ones could be different genders. So just, it's a fun little scene. It's not long. Thank you, Becky. So who's the talent scout? These are stage whispers, which means you go, who's the talent scout? Like that. So they all react. So everybody's going to come on. You're going to come into the big room like we are right now. And then you're going to break out into your audition room. That's how we're going to do this. Is that right, Darren? Did I say that the right way?
Yes. And just so if you're looking at this, I know it looks like Becky's cheer is a song. It's not. It's just her cheer. So that's where the scene starts. You do not have to worry about saying it in rhythm. So you can make up your own cheer however you want. If you want to put cheerleading motions to it, hey, all you people, right? So you don't have to worry about the rhythm. You just do that cheer excited as a cheerleader would, being Becky, and then continue with the scene. But like Claudia was saying, when you first get your audition time, which Claudia will send out an email to everyone who registers for the production, and then she will send out a Zoom link to you with a time. All right. So you'll come on at that time, just like you did today. You'll be admitted into this group room, the big room like we are. And then Suzette and I will be in the breakout room, the audition room. And what will happen is we'll bring you in 5 at a time or 6 at a time. And then you'll do just like we did normally. You'd be in the auditorium at SRS, and then we'd bring you in 4, 5, 6 at a time, depending on the group, right? And you'd audition for Suzette and I in that separate room where you would do your scene and your song, right? And then you'd go back to the other room. So we're doing it the same way, but virtually on Zoom. We'll do it everybody's in the big room, and we could be playing through the songs and the scenes, and everybody could be practicing together. And then when you go into the breakout room, you'll have your numbers, and we'll say, okay, number 1 is Shira. So Shira, sing your song. And number 2 is Leah. Great. Now Leah's going to sing her song. And number 3 is Jackson. And 4 is Caroline. And 5 is Luke. And 6 is Mac. Right? So we go through all those people, and they each sing their song first. Right? And if you have technical issues, we'll help you out right there. Then we say, now it's time to go to the scenes. Right? So like this scene has 1, 2, 3, 4 people in it. The talent scout, Edwina, Annie, and Scott.
Right.
So if you have your one favorite scene that you're prepared, we might though ask you to read another scene because another actor might have their favorite scene and they need other actors to perform with. So you might do more than one scene.
Yeah, it might not be even in the end, but we'll try. And Darren, what if I wanted to do a scene and I don't want to do a song? Can I do that or no?
That is fine. If you, yes, because there are parts that don't have songs. For example, the talent scout in the show does not have a solo. So the talent scout is really only an actor in this particular scene. We don't see the talent scout until this scene. So it could be an actor who doesn't want to sing a song. We could also, depending on the cast, it might be someone who is a different character and the talent scout. Like there could be someone that plays more than one character, where Claudia was talking about doubling up parts, you know? Depending on our number, we might combine parts. For example, it might be that whoever is Annie is also going to do Katie's line. So Katie and Annie become one person.
And you don't have to, someone asked on chat, you don't have to memorize it, but it should be really clear that you've worked on it, that you've thought about it, that you've given the scene some thought in your character. So it's not your first, you're reading it for the first time at your audition. That doesn't work very well. But the more familiar you are with it, like as close to memorizing is always really good, because then you feel more comfortable with it. So it's really for you that you should be, have gone through it a bunch of times. And then you've got that muscle memory for the lines, and you've tried different parts and you feel comfortable with all the parts. So that when Darren says, oh, I've only, it's hard for people to say, oh, I've only looked at the talent scout. And then we've asked them to read Edwina, then they're like, oh no, it's really hard. So the best. Thank you, Rebecca.
Bye, Rebecca.
So Claudia, don't you think that since we might ask them to read another scene because somebody in their breakout room wants to do a different scene, they should probably print out all the scenes?
That's a good idea, because they're only three pages.
They should only print out the song they want to do.
Correct.
But scenes, they should probably print out all the scenes.
That's a really good idea. And these are 2 and 2, Darren. So, two people and 2 people.
Yes.
And so,
the other option is, Suzette, normally at the auditions, when we do ask someone to do a scene that they've not prepared, and we usually share packets and we hand you a packet, we can also do what Claudia's doing right now. So we could certainly share the screen, and then she won't do it now, but we could zoom in on it and you make it bigger. So if you didn't have a packet, you could right now be reading it from the screen as well. So again, we're a very easy group to audition with. So you don't ever have to worry about what happens in the audition. We want to make you feel as confident and successful as possible. And if you mess up and need to start again, you can do that. And we're totally fine with that.
And I will send, I'll send you a lot of information once you sign up at yptw.org. I will also, we're going to need to know your conflicts. I have a Google Doc sheet that you can fill in conflicts, things like that. And just an explanation. I'm going to save this recording, even though it's not the most, streamlined explanation, but I'll post this in case you want to look at it again if you're a little confused about something. What are your questions? Do you guys have any formulated? Yeah, Kate, Santi.
I'm just asking on the age. How old is Katie Spoonapple?
Did you get that?
That's a good question. Katie Spoonapple is as old as the actress is that plays Katie Spoonapple. Yeah. In other words, it doesn't matter. It's not like Music Man, for example, where, Gracie Shin had to be a specific age and Amaryllis had to be a specific age. Do you know what I mean? So because it's a shortened version and the scene work isn't that specific, it can really be anyone. So you're kind of gonna, whatever you look like, whatever you sound like, that's what the character would sound like.
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. Anyone else have a question for us?
Vivian?
If you want to be a backup dancer, which song should you sing?
Anyone you want?
Sing your own song, I would suggest.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yes, so there are, like the napkins are specifically featured dancers. So they don't have a specific singing part, but in the song, they do some dancing, hold up signs, and they have some speaking to do in that song.
Good question. Oops, I got a video.
Anyone else have a question? Something we maybe didn't explain as well as you would like, or if you're new to this process, maybe you're just not sure how things are going to go.
I know one thing that I just had a question. It was I meant to cover this. As far as the calendar, as far as rehearsals for this show, what we're thinking, and if it looks like what we can adjust as far as people's conflicts are concerned. But we were thinking Saturdays from like 10 to 12 and Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3. Now that would not mean that everyone would be called for both of those, but those in those 2-hour blocks, and then Sunday from maybe 1:30 to 3:30. So it's a lot shorter than our normal rehearsal schedule. And then we'll try and be as specific as possible, right, Darren? So I'm sure
Yes.
you'll all be called for all of that. So we'll try and we'll especially deal with age groups and things like that as far as calling you, because we know you're a little zoomed out, some of you, right? Right. But and then we'll give you a lot of materials that you can also work with at home. So, like if you are a napkin, Susie and the Napkins, you'll be able to, we'll have recordings of your choreography that you can practice at home. So you don't always have to be online to do that. We'll try and make it as simple as we can for you. And then maybe that last week, we'll probably do something after school, like the Tuesday and the Wednesday, like we always do, but we're just not sure what time would be the best for you guys. Because this year it's hard to say what activities. Usually we're up against like choral concerts and things like that. I don't know if we're up against choral concerts or things like that. So it should be determined what time, but we will do something on that Tuesday and Wednesday. And then our shows will be on Friday. Is it the 4th? I have to look at it again. That weekend.
I'm looking at it right here. Yes.
The 4th?
December 4th.
Yeah, so we'll probably rehearse right before that, and then we'll do it that evening, and then something the 5th. And we might do something, it's looking to me more likely that we'll do something with the 8th graders right before that, some sort of live thing before the show that I'll be working on with you. And we'll probably have some little extra rehearsals for that, but it won't be too many. Some sort of little cabaret thing. So it's like a pre-show. We'll have a pre-show cabaret. But I said I needed a few 8th graders, but it looks like I have a few 8th graders now, which I'm tickled about. So we'll see. Okay, it's still up in the air, but it looks good. It's looking promising. All right, because it's your last.
And again, if you have any difficulties in the next week, it's really going to be helpful to reach out to us. So email either yptw@aol.com, or now we have a new yptw@yptw.org, right?
yptw.org. yptw.org.
Yes.
Yep. Joe's so excited.
And you could also, on our Facebook page, if you have a question, it might be a good idea to comment and ask your question online, because someone else might have that same question. So then when one of us answers it, it will answer it for everyone else. But unlike normal, like we're not going to be passing out materials. So really that Google Drive is really able to navigate the Google Drive, or at least someone in your household can, and then print those things. Because we're obviously not handing you scripts. So it's going to be, printing that. But again, it's not a long script. I printed the script and the vocal book, on my own. And if you do it two-sided, it's not that much paper and it doesn't take that much ink. But that's really going to be your friend. So I would say the first thing to do in preparing for your audition and the materials is go ahead to that Google Docs, like Claudia said, is posted on every email and all those sites. Print out the audition information so you can see what to audition for, and then pick your song and print that song. Like Suzette said, print all 4 scenes, or it's 3 scenes, but it's 4. Just have that printed and make yourself a folder or a binder, and that will really help you, because then you can use that same binder when we have you print the full script.
Okay. Any other questions? No, we're good. Okay. All right. So try and sign, if you're doing the show, sign up as soon as possible so I can get that stuff out to you in the next couple of days is my goal. Joe had a little operation on his shoulder and now he's acting like he's a cripple, but he's really not at all. He told me he can't vacuum for a year, but I don't think that's true. Do you? He also told me he thinks chocolate cake is the only thing that will cure him. I don't think the doctor said that. I really don't think so. So anyway, so I have my hands full for the next day, but then I'll get to work on that. I think he's going to be just fine. Charlotte, where are you?
Claudia, I had a question.
Are you at your friend's house, Charlotte? You're at home? This is a new view. I haven't seen this view before. I thought I'd seen all the parts of your house. Yes, Darren.
So normally we also have a calendar that we ask you to fill out conflicts and then send it back in. So we're going to do it a little differently this time. So we're going to do a Google Doc on that where it will ask you, if you know you're going to be away for a certain weekend of those 5 weeks, it'll be a living Google Doc so that you can put in any conflicts into that and we'll see that. So again, that's all going to be posted in those same places. You can get to that through the links on our website, on our Facebook page, and it will all be in Google. All right, and we'll be communicating through email a lot. So we just make sure that you're always checking email for things like the schedule each weekend and things like that. Who's called?
Are we going to do remind too? Probably. Remind.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yes, we could do remind text. And then the other thing I'll just say now, so once we get into the actual rehearsals, we will not be using this Zoom link, correct, Claudia?
We're going to use yours, Darren.
Right. So we'll go ahead and use my Zoom link, but you'll get all that once we have auditions. So up until November 1st, we're using this. Then once we start the next weekend on the 7th and the 8th, Saturday and Sunday, those first rehearsals, you will get lots of communication and we'll have a link sent out for our rehearsals.
We are really, really excited that you guys are here today. Thank you so, so, so much. And we hope that you decide to do the show. Some of you already have or have already registered that are in this group and we're thrilled. But I hope a lot of you want to join us. I think it's going to be an adventure. It's going to be fun. And we're going to keep it fun. Fun is the big word. Fun.
Yes. We're so thankful that all 18 of you are here today. So thank you so much. Okay. And if you already know that you're going to do the show, go ahead to the website and register. That really helps us with our, planning and things like that. So register now, and then we will definitely see you on not tomorrow, but the following Sunday, November 1st is when the audition is.
Yeah.
And feel free to ask your friends. If you have somebody that's a friend of yours in school that has never done theater, this is a really good introduction to theater since it's on Zoom and it's not as intimidating, I think. So if you have some buddies that you want to see every Saturday and Sunday online, feel free to introduce them to YPTW and tell them, hey, let's do Dear Edwina together.
Even if they're in Illinois, they could do it.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
They don't even have to be here. Okay.
Nope.
Your cousin you haven't seen. Okay, guys. That's it for now. Thank you. And I will post this. I'll do some nice work on this video. Okay. So that you can look at it if you need to. Thank you, Monica. Thanks. Thanks all. Okay.
See you on Sunday. Woo! Bye.
Bye, little doggy.
Bye.
Shrine puppy. Let me see Shrine puppy.
Bye, Jack.
Bye.
Oh, God. That's so cute.